Angry guy here, and women are scared men will replace them with robot wives. Women are scared that men will replace them with robot wives. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the article. So, as we can see here, there's actually an article that was released by Fox, and it's quite intriguing. New tech becoming unplugged could alienate people from society, experts warn. So we'll get to the part about the wives first, but let's draw some context here. Technology companies are racing to develop artificial intelligence that can run unplugged from the internet, providing users with a more personalized and private experience. So basically, what they're trying to do is take ChatGPT, which is a large learning model, and they're trying to shrink that down so that they can have it running locally on a on a device like a robot or other type of device that you can interact with in your home. So basically, you have the best of both worlds. It's kind of like creating sentience, like basically sentience in your home. All right, so a device that has its own sentience running locally, because right now most of this tech is running on the cloud. During this year's Intel Innovation Summit, company CEO Pat Gel Gelsinger unveiled AI PCs that will increase the use of AI on the devices themselves and not depend on the cloud, according to a report from Spectrum. So this is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. What this actually means is that these computers are going to run more efficiently and effectively. They're going to be doing things that were simply not possible before. Guys, we are literally entering into almost the quantum realm where we're going to have PCs that are going to do things that we never even imagined possible. They're going to run more effectively. They're going to be able to process data in ways we never considered before. I mean, this is absolutely unbelievable stuff. The company is not alone in the quest to optimize its devices to run artificial intelligence on the edge, unplugged from the internet, and run on local hardware. Apple and Qualcomm have also been involved in the race, the report noted, leading a drive towards AI meant to act more as a personalized assistant for the end user. Most AI tools today rely heavily on data centers that require a stable internet connection, at times overburdening servers attempting to keep up with the growing demand. But the new technology would rely less on the internet and the cloud and more on learning the needs of the person using. John Schweip, the policy director of American Principal Project, told Fox News Digital that such innovations have the potential to fundamentally change the way we live our lives, but warned such developments also risk people forming deep yet unrequited bonds with their virtual assistants that further alienate them from the rest of society. AI can never be a true replacement for social interaction. An AI wife cannot be a true replacement for a real wife, Schweib said. In a world where we already have problems with people rejecting their social societal responsibilities and being unwilling or unable to form families, AI assistants will just further exasperate these issues. So, guys, that was the point I wanted to make. And it says that despite that, companies are steaming ahead with the development of the technology, reversing a decade-long trend in tech to move almost everything to the cloud. This is insane. Basically, guys, what we're looking at is we're looking at a world where you will have these AI-based devices, and there'll be different kinds of devices. Now, think about this carefully. If you have AI in your home that can clean for you, that can cook for you. Guys, this we're heading towards Rosie. Do y'all remember Rosie from the Jetsons? We're heading towards Rosie. And Rosie was awesome. Everybody loved Rosie. In fact, what someone actually pointed out in my comments, because I've talked about Rosie before, I never knew this, but evidently Rosie was originally meant to look more feminine. So she was originally meant to look more like a woman. However, the creators of the Jetsons were so afraid of the backlash from women that they ended up changing Rosie around to look more robotic than biological, because women even at that time would have been furious to think that a machine could step in and replace them. Because think about it, if you have a machine that can cook for a man and clean for a man, there's a saying, feed him. All a woman has to really do to make a man happy is to feed him and, be intimate with him, right? If you have a machine that will clean for you, cook for you, and be there, listen to you, relate to you in ways that a woman is not willing to do, or says that she wants to be paid for her emotional labor, and it will respond to you and be personalized to your needs, understand your personality type. If you're struggling with trauma, it can respond to you in an empathic way that a woman will not. Guys, most men would prefer this. Most men would absolutely prefer this. And then if they need intimacy, they'll do one of two things. They'll go out and they'll buy it, or, and a lot of men will choose to do this, they basically just use technology. So a lot of guys have no problem just relieving themselves and calling it a day. Like, okay, I'll just use my hand. I'm done with that, and then I'll move on. Or with the metaverse and all these other technologies coming along, we're going to have the evolution of this technology where dudes are going to have their toys, and they're going to prefer these toys biological women. Do you remember the video I showed you guys on don't date robots? And you all thought this was a joke? You know what? Let's watch that video again.
Ordinary human dating. It's enjoyable and it serves an important purpose. But when a human dates an artificial mate, there is no purpose, only enjoyment. And that leads to tragedy.
Neato! A Marilyn Monroe bot!
Ooh, you're a real dreamboat.
Billy every teen.
Harmless fun? Let's see what happens next.
Billy, do you want to walk your dog?
No thanks, Mom. I'd rather make out with my Monroe bot.
Billy, do you want to get a paper route and earn some extra cash?
No thanks, Dad. I'd rather make out with my Monroe bot.
Billy, do you want to come over tonight? We could make out together.
Gee, Mavis, your house is across the street. That's an awfully long way to go for making out.
Did you notice what went wrong in that scene? Ordinarily, Billy would work hard to make money with his paper route. Then he'd use the money to buy dinner for Mavis, thus earning a slim chance to perform the reproductive act. But in a world where teens can date robots, why should he bother? Why should anyone bother? Let's take a look at Billy's planet a year later. Where are all the football stars? And where are the biochemists? They're trapped in the soft, vice-like grip of robot lips. All civilization was just an effort to impress the opposite sex. And sometimes the same sex. Now, let's skip forward 80 years into the future. Where's Billy?
Farewell.
The next day, Billy's planet was destroyed by aliens. Have you guessed the name of Billy's planet? It was Earth. Don't date robots!
Brought to you by the Space Pole.
So, guys, this is actually quite intriguing. I've talked about it numerous times in the past, but you have to really understand the severity of the situation. Women, tradcons, are scared men will replace them with robot wives. I talk about Rosie from the Jetsons, and people think this is a game. When you consider the utility that men receive from women today, where women say that they are the table, and that a man is not a real man if he expects anything from a woman, if he expects her to clean, cook, nurture, be there for him emotionally, do anything in the relationship, then what he is looking for is the princess treatment. He is looking for a mommy. He needs to understand that she is the table. Her very presence in his life makes his life better. He starts to do better in life. Money starts to come up. But this is the crazy thing. They're already looking for men that are millionaires, that have their lives together, that dress well, that are high value men. So what are they talking about? The man already had his life together. He was a millionaire when you met him. He was a CEO when you met him. He had the respect of other men when you met him. He had influence when you met him. He was already 6 feet tall when you met him. He was already in shape when you met him. He was a high value man when you met him. So how is his life going to get better as a result of you being in it, your presence? The only thing that modern women can offer a man is something that has been used numerous times over and over. So at the end of the day, these men that even get into relationships with these women, they know what they're getting. And that's the reason why sugaring is so popular. And then the crazy thing is, all of these women, I told you, be careful, stay away from the church. They're becoming born again Christians. After they destroy their lives, they go on OnlyFools or Lonely Fans. They sell their futures for the present. They make ridiculous amounts of money. They make $500,000. Many of them don't even make that. Most women on OnlyFools make less than $1,000 a month. That is the average. The average woman on OnlyFools makes less than $1,000 a month, y'all. And the crazy thing is that a lot of these women eventually fall off. And when they fall off and they lose all of their followers, they think they're going to go and rebuild. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't work like that. And they have become used to a certain lifestyle. And they believe that that lifestyle is what they deserve now. So what they do is they turn to credit. And they think that they're going to be able to maintain the lifestyle that they were living when they were using OnlyFools, doing OnlyFools, and making OnlyFools money, and believing that they're going to be able to rebuild, and they don't. So then they end up in massive amounts of debt. They may purchase a property. For example, they purchase a house using OnlyFools money that they can't pay for. Then they go and they take out a second mortgage on the home for a couple $100,000. Then instead of using that money to, let's say, purchase another property or to upgrade that property, add additional value to it, maybe convert it into, let's say, a 2-family or a 3-family home, and then rent that property out to recoup some of their investment so they can keep the property. Nope, they'll just turn around and keep on living in it. And they'll spend that money that they've gotten out of the equity by refinancing on themselves, on more luxury, until they lose the property, lose everything, have a problem with the IRS because they were not paying taxes. I saw a comment from Mayumi where she made a comment regarding OnlyFools models that she said she hopes they're paying taxes because the IRS doesn't mess around. And it's really true. A lot of these women are ending up in trouble with the IRS. They make, if they make $500,000 a year, that's closer to $300,000 than it is to $500,000. Let's be very clear. And these women are spending wildly. They do not understand finance. They do not care about finance. They are spending wildly, absolutely wildly. And the fallout from this, the results from this, are pretty severe. There are long-term social implications of them going out and doing this, and they don't care. And they get used to that standard of living, believing that they're high class and they deserve all of these things, and they're hanging out with these dudes who don't even care about them. And then the money dries up. They're older now. They can no longer attract those men. Of course, they can find men who will always hook up with them, but they're not going to find men who want to marry them or have a long-term relationship with them. Guys who make $50,000 a year, even $75,000 a year, even $100,000 a year, they won't consider these men because they believe that these men they are too good for these men. These men cannot provide them with the lifestyle that they want. So these women will go and live in a storm drain while holding out for that millionaire or billionaire, because they spent their 20s, teens, and their 20s, their late teens, sometimes even more than that, unfortunately, and their 20s hanging around these types of men, these rappers, YouTubers, princes from Saudi Arabia that flew them out and wine them and dine them, spending tens of thousands of dollars on them. You have these women who've literally had guys spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on them over the course of their lives, where they go out with no money. Like, I've literally seen articles from women talking about how they go to the club without $1 in their pockets. They go to the club with no money whatsoever. They have no money on them. That's how they roll. That's how they live their lives. They go out with no money because they expect men to provide absolutely everything for them. What do you guys think regarding this? Women are scared men will replace them with robot wives. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. So let's talk about them there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.